best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to focus forward.
Good morning, and we are live on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, sponsored by the Invest Grand Bahama unit of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. My name is Glendea Sweeting, the Business Development Officer of GBPA, and I am joined by my new co-host, Alex Thompson, Executive Director of the Downtown Freeport Business Association. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Glendea. It's so good to be here, my first official show.
Yes.
I'm excited.
It's, you know, we're so happy to have you, Alex. Of course, we want to send a great shout out to Harvey Ann, who is out there watching us now. We were so happy to have her. But now we have you. You're the new co-host, so we're looking for some great things coming from you. You represent the downtown businesses, the small businesses in the downtown community. So we're looking forward to hearing their voice coming through you.
Oh, well, you know, I've been downtown since 1992. That's about 25 years. So as much fun as we're going to have, you may have to rein me in because I am very passionate about small business and promoting small businesses.
Fantastic, fantastic. 1992, I think I was like in 4th grade or something.
Oh my God, let's not even talk about it.
Let's not talk about my age. Let's not talk about the age. All right, and so today, on today's show, we're going to have the Keep Grand Bahama Clean committee. So we want to thank you for joining us and being with us again. We have some very special guests that we're going to be talking to and giving us some very, very great information about the initiative. Of course, the Keep My Grand Bahama or Keep Grand Bahama Clean initiative is one that has been in this community for several years. They've done so much. We know about the coastal cleanups. We know about the work that they do in the schools. They erect signage. They have so many things that they do, PSAs, you hear them on the radio and that sort of thing. And the list goes on and on. But before we get to that, Alex, what's been happening in Freeport last week?
Well, last week, the biggest event we had was our Business to Business Expo. And the feature of it was the Minister Kwesi Thompson from the Office of the Prime Minister, where he talked about the ideas and the great promotions that the government has for small businesses. But there's also Buckeye was there. We have representative from the shipyard was there, as well as the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And one of the features was focusing on how small businesses, entrepreneurs, can enter the industrial sector. A lot of times we think industrial, we think you have to be a big major player, but you don't. There are so many small investments you can make that you can benefit. They have services, they have products that they need, and they actually want to invest in the small business economy in Grand Bahama. I'm really excited about it. If you're not on board, you need to focus on the Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau page. We're going to be putting more information there. You also want to take interest into the Ministry of Grand Bahama's page. You're going to see more information there as well. But the expo was well attended. There was standing room only.
Yes.
So you went in there and I was smacked up against the wall and I thought, I've got to squeeze right in here because I wanted to hear all the great things that was going on.
I remember that. I remember hearing a fantastic presentation from Kimberly Miller on behalf of the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Give them a little snippet about what that's about.
Yeah, so she talked a little bit about Capital Arena. And Capital Arena was launched a little bit earlier this year, but we're going to be hearing more and more about it. And it's for entrepreneurs and existing businesses. If you want to get some funding to be able to expand your business, or if you just want to get started and you have a really great idea, this is an opportunity for you to go up against it's the Duke, the Don, and the Duchess.
And the Duchess.
Right?
Well, all I heard about was, you're going to give me some money if I have a really great idea, and you're going to actually help me make that idea a success. I mean, how
Yes.
can you not
You
want
can't
to
beat
get
that.
involved in that?
You can't beat that. So
Yes.
she gave a really, really good keynote on that, and that was fantastic. And as you mentioned, the Grand Bahama Shipyard also talked about some of the possibilities for existing entrepreneurs that may be able to become a supplier.
Exactly.
And so, you know, there are some opportunities there. So lots of great things happening at the Business to Business Expo. That was the first one. And so we look forward to seeing a little bit more as time goes on.
They're going to have some more, and I am not going to be late. I'm going to be right there, first one in the door, so I get the first seat right in front.
Well, next time Focus Forward probably is going to be there, live and direct, right there, waiting to listen, to hear, and to bring that information to you guys as well. Also, we want to remind everyone that we still should be in help mode, right?
Yes, we are.
So, of course, we know that there were some persons that were adversely affected as a result of this very active season and some of the devastating storms. So we want to just remind the community and everybody that we still need to be helping everyone here.
Exactly.
Grand Bahama, definitely throughout the Bahamas, and also our Caribbean neighbors.
Each one help one.
Yes, yes. Let's continue to help where we can, lend that helping hand. So today we want to welcome to our studio our first guest, who is a proud graduate of the University of the Bahamas and Florida International University, where he obtained a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from the latter. As a strong proponent and advocate for sustainable growth for Bahamians, he works to spread the message of the importance of financial literacy, active economic participation, social consciousness, and economic empowerment. He has been an active and participating member of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean committee for the past 10 years. His role extends from cleanups, project coordination, to public education. But no career highlight, and I like this one, Alex, no career highlight is greater than wearing a costume dressed as a 200-pound chicken to spread the message of social responsibility and consciousness through keeping our environment clean to the youth of our country. He is currently the Senior Environmental Inspector at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Please let's welcome Mr. Rico Cargill. Welcome to Focus Forward.
That's a big round of applause.
Morning,
I know, that 200-pound chicken thing, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, we do have to talk about that.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Well, it was a effort. We think we did it several years ago. We did it several times, quite actually, with the help of Sherry for the most part. One of our major goals at KGBC and the Port Authority in the Building Development Service Department is to ensure that persons understand the role they have to play in our community. It's called Keep Grand Bahama Clean for a strategic reason. It's Grand Bahama as a whole. And one of our adjustments to our slogan over the years is that it's everyone's business and responsibility to participate in keeping it clean. So, unfortunately, someone has to wear a chicken costume to convey a message.
And it has to be you.
And it has to be me. And it seemed to be tailored and fitted me appropriately, since I always wanted to gain weight. So I say, here's a 200-pound chicken, and go at it. You fit the role quite nicely. And but it was worth it. I think we did all of the schools in the island. A few schools benefited from seeing the chicken. But it's something that I wish we could convey it more to the adult sector. Maybe I need to wear it on the street corner.
I think so.
Keep our island
Yeah, that'll be something to see.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yes.
All right, our next guest, over the past 10 years, she has been active participant with environmental causes and organizations in the Bahamas. Since 2007, she has been involved with every aspect of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee. She has served for 8 consecutive years as a site captain for the International Coastal Cleanup through the Ministry of Tourism. And since 2013, she has served as the lead coordinator for the community service portion of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Ranger Youth Program on Grand Bahama. In her professional role, she works as an educational outreach officer for the Bahamas National Trust. And it is our pleasure to welcome Ms. Sherry Wood.
Thank you.
All right, Sherry.
Welcome to Focus Forward. So let's get right into it, right? Mr. Cargill, Keep Grand Bahama Clean has been around for several years. Tell us about some of the, I know you guys have so many, right? But tell us about some of the initiatives and some of the things that you guys do. What is the purpose of Keep Grand Bahama Clean?
Well, first and foremost, we were around for, I think, a little over 10 years. I want to say 11, particularly. Keep Grand Bahama Clean is a mixture of civic organizations, volunteers, anyone who's really interested and have the community at heart. One of our major initiatives is, the initial first, in the early part of the years, was to focus on cleanups. and trying to show people the value and the importance of keeping an area clean, whether it's your little doorstep or it transcends into the general community, and the value that has on the quality of life as a whole. And trying to educate from the little ones to the adults the real importance of that. We have focused on social awareness. We are focused on general education in a nutshell. But for the last 5 years, we were trying to transition away from cleanups themselves and more try to get people to focus on the need to volunteer and the need to sustain this effort. And we can't sustain it by the constant pouring out of resources for cleanups. It would be nice if we could divert that set of resources for other initiatives, like other education programs. Because if you look at it, why are we cleaning up in the first place? Those are the questions we ask ourselves. The other question was, why don't we tackle this head on from the front part of the challenge? The issue of dumping and the issue of dealing with waste is a difficult one. And we're trying to find more intelligent ways to bring that conversation to the forefront. In the last 5 years, I think we've focused on that through the help of BNT and with their efforts. And they have a mandate, a wider mandate. And we're trying to synchronize all of our work together.
So you said it's been 11 years.
Yes.
Well, Ms. Wood, in your role with Keep Grand Bahama Clean, how do you feel you have impacted the island thus far?
Well, I think that by going out into the schools, that's really my favorite thing to do. And when you look at, not the chicken, Rico also plays a really famous puppet in one of our puppet shows that he failed to mention in his bio, but he is Chris, Chris the puppet.
Okay.
But how have we impacted the island? I think that the visibility, when we are out doing a cleanup or doing a campaign, it's very, very visual. So as an example, one of the initiatives we started last year was, we call it the school invasion. And a number of us, depending on who's available that day, including police officers, people from the private sector, business people, people from Bahamas National Trust, we all put on the Keep Grand Bahama Clean shirts. We are all Keep Grand Bahama Clean. We're not representing our own individual entities. Okay. And we descended on some of the schools with clipboards and checklists to check for cleanliness. Do they have native plants in their school? Really? Is there trash around? And so by creating this sort of awareness, you think about if you go to one school that has, 1,000 children at the school, they're all peeking out the windows, what's going on? Because we're all walking around with clipboards, right? So they all go home and tell mommy and daddy what's going on. And so how we've impacted is creating all this awareness around the importance of it. And when we have to thank so much law enforcement, because over the past 5 years too, our focus has really shifted into the enforcement of the laws of littering. So we have tremendous support from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And they come with us to do these sorts of things and create the awareness. So that's really what I've been focusing on, is with the children and letting people know that it's not okay to litter. It's everybody's responsibility to pick it up. You don't pass by it, and to not do it in the first place.
Exactly.
Right. Everybody takes some responsibility.
Yeah,
for this.
and it ties in so well with my specific role at the Bahamas National Trust, because my role is to go out into the schools to educate kids on the environment.
Right.
So, and endangered species and all this sort of thing. So just the other day I was at Freeport Primary, and we're talking about littering and how when you throw a straw and it ends up in the ocean, it ends up in a turtle's nose and the turtle dies, right?
Aww.
So it's like, all the work overlaps. We all run in the same circles when we're on the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee, the people from all the different areas of the island and different sectors. And it's just wonderful because we get to take that message back to wherever we work and live and pass it on that way too.
Okay. So you guys have been, and we've been talking about what you would have done in the past, and so many initiatives, so many efforts. So now this is Keep Grand Bahama Clean month, is it? Is this the time when you focus on doing some new things? What's coming up?
I call this month transitioning to Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving turkey, but
anniversary month every
October, yes.
Every October.
Every October.
Okay.
So what major event you have planned?
Major event, major events in the past, and I'll come to answer the question. We've had movie seating, like we did a movie piece that Keenan Media did for us 10 years ago, ironically, it was 10 years ago to date, yes. We've done campaigns, we've done educational drives, art exhibits, poetry shows, and all that stuff. But this year, I think we want to focus more, and we want to on a coordinated cleanup. So at least we can say at one point in time, even if it's for a few minutes, at one point in time, the entire island can be considered relatively clean.
That's a great idea.
And we're going, and the idea is to get others involved. Like a particular group targets the west, the east, the central areas of Grand Bahama.
If I could just stop you right there. You
Right.
said others involved. Who are these others? Because I know you guys don't work in and of yourselves, right?
No.
It's more than Rico. It's more than Sherry. Who are these others?
Of course not. Well, we have civic organizations and other groups such as sorority groups. They play a significant role. Where there's the
have like the Lions
clubs.
We have the Rangers.
Okay.
The police force.
We have some schools that help, because we're covering from West End to East End.
Churches.
The entire church groups.
Yeah.
So it's just a number of
Everyone.
different groups. Everyone's involved.
So,
Yeah.
so we're trying to focus more for our efforts for us old members to be the repository for the resources. Each group say, okay, this is what we want to do. This is my area. I'm passionate about this area. Say, okay, here we have the resource in play. Here's the coordinated times. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to communicate. And we're trying to deal with the logistics and the handling part of it as a group this year. But the other community, the other participant, the other volunteers, we want to give them the forefront and want them to be seen this year.
Okay, so if someone wants to become a part of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean committee, I'm sure our persons are watching and you know they're thinking, well, I want to be a part of this. What can they do to become a member?
Well, the membership is free. I don't know, you can say
Free and free port.
Yes, free and free port.
Everyone likes free.
But jokingly so though, we meet every month. They can give us a call through the Port Authority or through any of the organization or any
Or
of
through our Facebook page, too. We have a Keep Grand Bahama Clean Facebook page. They can message us through there.
Awesome.
They can call is the main number still 9164, 350-9164?
Yes.
For Keep Grand Bahama Clean?
Okay, let's say that
For the
one more
building.
time. Sherry's a little bit slower.
350-9164 is
Okay.
the Building and Development Services
Services.
number, and that is the committee members work in that area of the Port Authority. So
Right.
they can call and get the schedule for the next meeting. We meet, I believe it's normally the third Wednesday of every month, like clockwork, at the Building and Development Services building right across from Costrite. And it's very succinct, and we meet, we put our plan together for the next month, and then we carry it out. And that's one of the reasons why I've stayed on this committee so long, because other committees, you know how y'all sit there and get a picture taken and everybody talks about what they're going to do and nobody does anything?
Right.
This committee is very different. So
Active committee.
if we
Yes.
have the same issue for like 2 consecutive months, we
have a
start
problem.
getting angry,
We have a
and we
problem.
start realizing we
Someone
need
picks
to-
up the phone, start calling you on a Sunday,
Oh,
like, what are
goodness.
you doing?
Yeah.
You're not working hard enough on a Sunday.
It gets personal.
Yeah, it gets personal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everybody needs to be on point.
They know where you live. They'll show up real quick and say, listen, you promised to address
do
this issue.
And you haven't done it
Yeah.
this year.
And
What's
the
going on?
other thing I want to really make sure that people know is we love it when youths come and are part of our committee. We have several youth ambassadors now. So if you're a young person watching this, please, we love youths to come and
But this would
represent.
be a great initiative for the youths who have to complete their community service
Yes.
to get
It would
involved
be
Most
with.
definitely.
excellent. And of course, our meetings, unfortunately, for youths are during the day, during the week, but it's only one a month. And I'm sure that if they were going to be a youth ambassador, like for their school, that they may be able to arrange to do
arrange it
that.
to get out as
Yeah.
part of the community service.
Yes.
All right, as we wrap up this segment, any final words for our viewers? I mean, how would you encourage them to be a part and to stay committed to something for 10 years?
Yeah.
And this is a
Well,
this is a
I would
big task.
encourage people to look around them and look at the beauty that we live in, right? Sometimes we take things for granted because we're walking the same streets or people are complaining about this and that on the island and, oh, there's so much garbage. Take a look. Drive down Mall Drive and take a look at the beauty that you are surrounded with every day.
Right.
Think of that when you're in downtown Nassau next time, okay? Think about downtown
we're-
Grand Bahama. It's not a little magician
Yeah.
that keeps it that
No.
way.
Right.
All of us are responsible
It takes some hard
for
work.
it.
Yes.
And very quickly also, we say this all the time, people have this perception that if they don't litter, then sanitation people lose jobs. And that is not true because those resources that we pay for people to pick up your trash, we could allocate for them to be doing other things like planting
some
trees
beautification.
and beautification.
Absolutely.
So that is a complete, not a myth, it's a lie.
Great. Okay.
It's a lie.
Well, you heard it here on Focus Forward. That's a lie. Okay. Not a problem. Thank you so much. Rico, any final words as we wrap?
Final words. Well, keep in mind, the main thing Keep Grand Bahama Clean was focused on for years, and we still focus on, is a need for cooperation and a need for partnership at all levels. You don't have to be a conglomerate. You don't have to be a big company. You can just be you, the little person in your little community that has a concern. Just by you calling and say, Rico, you're not doing your job. Even the criticism, we need the criticism, because sometimes we need to rechannel our efforts. There are a lot of things we're failing on, and we're not perfect, and we try to be, but the truth of the matter is we have issues to manage.
Right.
So if you have an issue, call, let us know what it is. If you have an idea, you think we should be implementing ideas, let us know, because at the end of the day, we're in this, all of us is in this together. It's your resources that we're using. We're trying to be accountable for them, and we need your assistance. And first and foremost, do not litter in the first place.
Do not litter.
Right.
In the first
Do
place.
not litter. And give us that number again if persons need
Well,
to call in. It's 350.
350-9000 is the main line for the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Okay.
You can also go to GBPA's website. We have all of the links there, all of our historical performances, whether it's videos, audio bites, and upcoming events. 350-9164 is our main desk at Building Development Services.
Okay.
Or when in doubt, just press 0 and ask for Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Okay, not a problem. We definitely want to thank you, Mr. Cargill and Ms. Wood from the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee. Thank you so much for joining us here on Focus Forward today, letting us know about all of the great initiatives that you guys would have done, and we look forward to what you're going to be doing in the future. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and just after the break, we'll be right back. We have the featured business of the day. Don't you dare turn off your Facebook. Don't you dare touch that dial. We'll be right back right after this.
Help. We are your complete business resource center, offering a one-stop shop service to aspiring entrepreneurs and existing business owners. Did you know that most startup businesses fail within the first 3 to 5 years as a result of poor planning, insufficient funding, and lack of basic business management skills and training? The Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau offers a wealth of resources, information, and support to help entrepreneurs avoid costly mistakes, make wise choices, and plan effectively for a successful business venture. Why risk becoming a statistic? Helping entrepreneurs realize their goals of successful business ownership while working with existing businesses to remain competitive and profitable is what we do. Visit or call us today for more information on how the Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau can help you. Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau, empowering licensees.
Welcome back to Focus Forward. Definitely, we want to thank Mr. Rico Cargill and Ms. Sherry Wood for joining us again. We talked with the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee, and we had a wonderful talk, Alex. It was great speaking with them.
Yes, I'm excited about joining. I'm excited about seeing that big chicken.
Yes, the 200-pound chicken. So now we're going to move right on to our featured business segment, and we have a wonderful gentleman that's in the room with us. About 2 weeks ago, we would have started the pulling card portion of our featured business here on the show, and so today we actually have the person whose card we pulled in the person of Mr. Keith A. Butler. Mr. Butler, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. You are a certified carpenter, and you are the CEO of Butler's Carpentry. Yes, you are. So, Mr. Butler, we know that you're a registered virtual business, and that means that you can operate business anywhere throughout the island of Freeport. Tell us a little bit about that, and what do you do?
All right, my business consists of renovating. We could bring a house from 1980. We'll bring that up to 2017. All right, we features interior work, outside work, anything what has to do with carpentry, masonry, my company does.
Okay. What are some of the projects that you would have worked on before? I know you have an extensive background. Any businesses or places that you can think of where you would have done some work before?
Well, we just completed the yacht club, the sailing club for the Port Authority, the police station up there, the Marine police station. We did that. We just finished the renovations on that. We also do all the renovations on Subway, and we're doing a bank job now on Ponce de Leon for the bank, and many other projects.
And how long have you been in business?
Well, I've been in business doing carpentry from 1988.
1988,
Wow,
so
so
clearly you
you're
love it.
seasoned.
Yes.
Yes, you're seasoned. So what are some of the things, because you're working in the Grand Bahama community and you're on the ground every day, how has business been for you? What are some of the things that you would think about when it's time for you to really get down to work? What encourages you and motivates you every day?
Well, I love my work, carpentry. So I really love it. I was a young boy, I just love woodwork, and my granddad was a painter, so I got all that from him. So I just love working with my hands.
I've seen some of his work, Alex. I remember I saw a bar that you built several years ago.
Yes.
Fancy. I mean, nice.
Fancy
Yes,
work. Well, he
really,
says he loves
really
what
nice.
he does, and what happens is when you love what you do, it shows in your work and your creativity.
Right.
What would you say is the one thing you've worked on over the years that you're absolutely most proud of?
Well, so much things.
So much things.
Yeah, because we did work in Nassau,
Okay.
the Albany. We also just finished 8 Mile Rock, PTC, the new one, the main office. We just finished renovating that.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things. It's nothing really, you could say, like some stuff inside of my home.
Okay.
I
That
love
you're
it.
extremely proud
Yes.
of. This is where you've put your heart and your soul
Yes.
into it. Okay.
But
now,
it's
and
nothing, I mean, it's a lot of things I could say, but it's just like everything I do, I believe once I touch it, then it's a goal.
It's going to be gold.
It's going to be
Yes.
gold.
I like that.
It's going to be
I like
Because,
that.
like I tell people, and my employees, my son especially, if you do something and it doesn't look good to you, how you expect the homeowner to appreciate that? So if you cannot stand away from your work and say, wow, that's a problem.
That's not good enough.
That's not good
So
enough.
you
like that.
expect excellence.
At
You
all
expect
times.
excellence.
I
And
like
and
that.
it's a father-son partnership now. That's what I'm hearing.
My son, yes, my son is involved with me, trying to get everybody else involved.
but you-
You know,
okay.
but he is a part. He do the hard work.
He's doing the hard work.
Yeah, right
and
now.
you just chill.
Yeah,
You supervise. You
Yeah.
supervise.
So you've been working from the east to the west. So you are, Grand Bahama has been good to you.
Yes.
Grand Bahama
I-
supplies you with work.
Yes. So far, so good.
So far, so good. That's right.
So if persons want to do business with you, if they want to find out about some of the things that you offer in terms of carpentry, masonry, that type of work, how can they find you?
Well, they can find me on Facebook. You have Butler's Carpentries on Facebook.
Okay.
Or you could call me at 804-8866 475-0000. Or you could come visit us at the Millennium Mall Street and Administration Office.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. We can
Okay,
find him.
great. So we'll
Centrally
know how to
located.
find you.
We can reach him everywhere.
Yes.
Right. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Butler, for being here on Focus Forward.
I really
our
appreciate
first
it.
featured business
Our
since
first
Alex
featured
has been
business.
on.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes,
thank
I
you
spoke
so
to
much.
Alex
Yes.
before, but she don't remember me.
Oh my goodness. I
She
don't
used to
know.
rent from us one
You
time
guys have a
ago.
little
Did I
history
really?
going on.
Oh, okay. Well, see,
But,
yes, that's many years ago.
Yes, many years.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well,
yes.
you guys can reminisce after the show because y'all remember each other from way back then. Mr. Butler, thank you. But just before you go, we want you to do the same thing that we had somebody do for you. So we want you to reach for that bowl over there. And if you can select a business card from the bowl for the person that's going to be joining us next week, go right ahead. We need a drum roll for this.
Get a
Who's
drum roll.
coming
Let's
up,
get
you
us get
know?
a drum
Who's going to be
roll.
coming up next
What's
week?
the featured business that we're going to have for next week? Because I'm all about small businesses.
Alex, who is
wow.
that?
Look at this. We have All Bill Hardware and Lumber Company. What is this?
Oh my goodness.
You picked your suppliers?
I was
I don't know. Was your eyes open in there?
But
No.
Okay.
We're going to go with the one. But great.
All Bill has been one of my #1 suppliers.
Okay.
Because when I first came into the business, the owner, T. Smith, he allowed me and my brother, Stephen Forbes, to actually run T&N Construction.
Oh, wow.
So my hat's off to them.
Great. So we're going to be welcoming all Bill compliments of Keith A. Butler and carpentry.
Yes.
That's fantastic, Mr. Butler. Thank you so much for being with us today. We enjoyed having you, and hopefully you would come again sometime soon.
Appreciate it.
All right. Great. Alex, so you got through your first show.
I got through my first show.
Yes, today was fantastic. We had Keep Grand Bahama Clean. We had Mr. Keith Butler with us talking about his carpentry business. This is fantastic. This is such a great start, and I'm having a good time. So great show today.
It was a good show. Had a lot of fun. I'm excited. You know, again, I'm all about businesses, so I'm looking forward to talking to Brian with All Bill next week, and I plan to be here with you and with you.
Obviously, well, we have to be here for these guys. And thank you for being with us each and every week here on Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And until next time, I'm Glendia Sweeting.
And I'm Alex Thompson.
Informing you on the positive things that happen when you focus forward.
You've been listening to Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. Like us on Facebook at Invest Grand Bahama Small Business Bureau to stay updated.
And drop a business card at the Grand Bahama Port Authority receptionist desk to have your business featured on our show. Tune in next Thursday,
Same time,
same place,
for Focus Forward.